Hey guys, what's up? New UBOX, back at it. It's been a long time, but here I am. Just been really busy with YouTube and all. Sorry, not YouTube. I wish I was busy with YouTube. Been busy with college, right? Life happens. Just got caught up. Anyways, I'm back now with more amazing content. So a few days ago, actually, I was scrolling through YouTube, and I came across a problem. Maybe you guys noticed this too, or maybe it's just me, but I noticed that there's not a lot of content on how to repair, or sorry, not how to repair, how to show the inner workings of a phone, right? Like people showing the inner workings of a phone and exactly what each part does. So that's what I wanted to show you guys today. And so I have this phone right here, Samsung Galaxy A53, pretty standard phone, built like pretty standard phone, and I'm gonna just take this opportunity just to show you guys the inside of a phone, how they work, what each part does, and hopefully you guys find this helpful. So without any ado, let's start the teardown. Perfect. So, first thing you're gonna want to do, not you're gonna want to do, sorry, let me make myself very clear. Anything I'm about to do in this video is for educational purposes, and if you want to follow along, that's completely up to you. But keep in mind, it's up to completely your risk. So if you end up damaging your device, I should not be held liable. I know you guys aren't gonna hold me liable, but just fair warning. Just yeah. So I'm just gonna be doing this, but don't try to follow along if you don't want to ruin your device. Okay, first thing you want to do is you're gonna heat up the device. I've already done that. So and then heating up, then you can just pry the back off. I've already done that. That's why this came off so easy. Here, let me just zoom in the camera for you here a bit. Let's get you guys a nice closer look. Okay, so this is the phone back right here, right? First thing you're gonna notice right off the bat, camera lenses right here, and then you got your little cooling pad. This is the phone back. This will also keeps the water out. See, there's a rubber seal. Just keeps the water out and keeps your phone watertight. Next up, here's the phone right off the bat. I know this is interesting. It looks intimidating. But yeah, so first thing you're going to notice, this thing right here. This is the battery. Pretty big thing right here, battery. Then you have the cameras right here. And then there's a bunch of other stuff, which I'll get into detail right now. So, let me grab a little screwdriver, because you are going to need that for this. Next up, I'm just going to, first thing with electronics, general rule is, as soon as you open them, just unplug the battery. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to, actually no, before that even, power off the device. I think this is still on, yep. So I'm just going to power that off. Power it off fully. So here, I'm just going to power it off, and boom. That's the phone right here. I'm just going to undo a bunch of screws. Sorry, this is the wrong screwdriver. Alright, so as you can see here, I've taken out most of the screws. And then after that, I'm just going to pick up this piece right here. And obviously not all phones are the same. But in this phone, this is how this bracket comes apart. And this bracket right here. Now, every time you go to a McDonald's or something and you make a payment with your phone, it uses this thing right here. That's your NFC coil. So basically your phone sends signal through this, which makes an electromagnetic field, which communicates with the other devices' fields at McDonald's or something. They register as fields, and then that's able to send data wirelessly, and that's how it actually makes your payments. So every time you go out, you spend $1 or $2, you tap your phone. This is actually what's making that payment possible. This is called the NFC chip, NFC coil. That's what it's called. And then this is also this right here. On this phone, it's done like this, but this is a graphite pad. So any heat that the phone's processor produces, like as you may know, every time you have a processor or a graphics card or a laptop, it's going to produce heat. So same with phones. Your phone's also a computer. So this is just going to actually take the heat away from the processor and into the graphite pad, which is then going to spread it all over the phone. So the graphite pad can help cool the processor and the phone. So that just means you have better performance overall. That's basically your cooling. Your phone's cooling. And that's what this piece is, yeah. And also this is just help secure everything down. As soon as we take that right here, this is the motherboard. I see the battery connector right here, so I'm just going to go unplug that. And the very important reason you want to do that is because as soon as you've opened a phone or a computer or anything and the battery is still plugged in, what now you're risking is, let's say I take a screwdriver and I accidentally run it across, or a screw accidentally falls down, and now two metal pieces that are not supposed to connect. Now electricity is passing through them, which is not supposed to be. Now you know what that causes? A short circuit. And a short circuit is really bad because now you're potentially putting your device at a risk where it could actually stop functioning. So first thing you want to do, unplug the battery, make sure it's unplugged, and now you can safely work on anything, and even if you drop a screw on anything, it should be fine as long as you take the screw off before plugging the battery right back in. So now, now we can see a lot more stuff. So here you see all the cameras, right here, the cameras, and then this big thing right here is actually your motherboard. So I will take that apart and then you can see the motherboard close up, and then I will explain that what that is too. But before I do that, I'm just gonna take this plastic piece off right here too, just so it's easier and everything is exposed in the phone. So okay, I've just taken the screws out from this and this bracket right here. I'm just gonna pop it out. And on this phone, the way this bracket's done is you see the silver piece right here? That's actually your bottom speaker. So this speaker piece connects right here to your phone, and that connects to your motherboard right here. And this is, sorry, not your motherboard, right? So your motherboard is gonna send a signal from this, and it's gonna put it in this cable right here, and this cable is gonna bring it to this board right here, and then that board is gonna give signal to the speaker right here, and this speaker is gonna make noise possible. So anytime you hear noise, like you're watching TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever, the noise that's coming is from this speaker right here. This speaker is gonna be producing the noise, and there's also one earpiece speaker. It's the same kind of mechanism, but yeah, the earpiece speaker is built right here in this phone. So every phone obviously is gonna be different, but in this one, yeah, the earpiece speakers right here look similar to everything else, but yeah, that's what's gonna make noise up there and down here. And do you see that pink thing right there? That's actually, so that's a water seal. So you see how your speakers have holes down here? That's actually made there. So it's really insane how this thing works. The holes in this are small enough to let air molecules through, but not water molecules through. The water molecules are like ever so slightly bigger than the air molecules, and this thing is so fine, so precisely made that the water molecules can't get in, but the air molecules from the speakers, like the sounds, can get out. So it's pretty nutty stuff, yeah. And yeah, speaking of that, you got your subboard right here. Sorry, cameraman out of focus for a bit. You got your subboard right here. Now this is like gonna be responsible for all your charging, all that kind of stuff. Let me just show you closer up. So I'm just gonna unplug this wire right here that goes from the motherboard to the subboard. Subboard is also called the daughter board. Just whatever people want to call it. It's just up to your preference, really. I call it subboard. But yeah, motherboard, daughter board. That's usually what it is. So anytime you see like on any electronics, you see like the main board. The main board is gonna be the motherboard, and whatever other boards are connected to the motherboard are called the daughter boards or subboards. Now I'm just unplugging these two wires, and I'll explain what these two. So okay, you know, if any technicians watching me do this, I know I'm like taking them off pretty like brutally, right? So you're supposed to be a lot careful with these. But yeah, okay, I'm not exactly sure what these cables do, but from what I believed and I've always thought these do is they carry, I'm pretty sure they carry your SIM's data. So like your cellular, your phone's like data from the SIM, any calls, these take it from, this is like the antenna cable from your motherboard to your subboard. I think these are just antenna cables, maybe not for the SIMs exactly, but these are some sort of antenna cable, right? These carry Wi-Fi signal over. So basically Wi-Fi, whatever signal there is that they need to carry, they carry over from the subboard to the main board, right? And whatever technician, you guys want to leave a comments on it, you know, elaborate to me too what these are. I don't know actually too much about these, but yeah. Now we come here. Let me just take off this cable right here. And this cable right here. So in every phone, obviously it's going to be different. In this phone, there's one cable that splits into two. So this one goes from the motherboard to the subboard and the screen. So this one carries signal to the screen from the motherboard. So the motherboard sends the screen signals what to power on the screen. And this one also sends signal to the subboard. And the subboard, I'll explain what that does and what signals that sends back to the motherboard. Okay, so now here I am. I've removed all the connections. And actually no, one more thing, I have to eject. Because the subboard is, on most phones, the subboard is what has a SIM card slot in it. So I'm just going to remove that SIM card slot so I don't end up bending anything or breaking anything. Okay, ready? Okay, so took me a while to find it, but I found my SIM ejector right here. And everyone knows what a SIM ejector is, so I'm just going to take that and I'm just going to eject my SIM. I don't think there's a SIM in this phone, but yeah, this is your SD and SIM card slot. Pretty explanatory, you guys already know what it does. And look who happened to join us. Evie. Oh, you're so cute. Evie, come here. Evie? Evie. He's so cute, guys. Okay, Evie, I have to get back to making the video, okay? Okay, Evie.
He does
You're
not
gonna
wanna,
get
he does not want to go.
airlifted. Alright. Back to the video. Okay. Here I am. Just took out the SIM card slot. Now, this board is free to go. So now I can just release that board. And please, I know any technician who's watching, I am being really ungentle with this stuff. And I know you guys are probably going to get mad, but yeah, please don't be that mad. Here is the subboard. Now, the subboard is special for multiple reasons, actually. This board, first of all, it carries your USB-C, your charging cable. So every time you plug your phone into charging, this is the board that's going to be bringing electricity, and then it's going to be sending the electricity to this cable right here, and that cable is going to be taking it to the motherboard, and the motherboard is going to be bringing that battery and electricity to the battery to charge it. So that's the process where the charging process starts. Then the subboard also has a bunch of antenna cables. So you know those two cables I showed you earlier? Those two bring signal here from the motherboard, and it connects right here. And these cables connect with the phone's antennas, which are built into the body. And these antennas help your phone get Wi-Fi reception, Bluetooth reception, cellular reception. This is a bunch of antennas on the subboard. And there's also these on the motherboard as well. Then on the subboard, you also have your SIM card slot. So your SIM card goes in here, and all the signal from the SIM card gets brought up into the subboard, and the subboard will send it through that cable to the motherboard.
Also explain
As a SIM card slot is on the side of the phones, so that sometimes the SIM card slot is actually directly built onto the motherboard. It just depends how the phone makers have designed the phone. But yeah, for most Samsung phones, the SIM card slot is going to be on the subboard. And that's your subboard right here. It has the bottom microphone right here, so every time you make a call, the bottom microphone is what kind of picks up your voice on the bottom when you're holding the phone, right? That's right. Like you put the phone to your ear, the bottom is going to be near your mouth, and that's the mic that's going to be picking up your calls. And then this is the connector that connects the battery, the actual main cable to the motherboard. Well, yeah, that's the job of the subboard. There are a few more things, such as on this phone, the subboard also connects the fingerprint sensor, which I'll get into detail as well. But yeah, there's a fingerprint sensor connector on this too. So a bunch of connectors on this board. Pretty essential phone parts. Okay, that was a long portion. Next part, fingerprint sensor. On this phone, there's a fingerprint sensor. On iPhones, you guys are used to Face ID. On Android, there's Face ID and fingerprint sensor. So yeah, fingerprint sensor. This thing basically, there's two types on Androids. Three types actually. There's one that's directly on the body, which works by using your fingers' electricity and signals to work. Then there's this one right here. This one's really interesting because this one, what it does is it shoots a white light, really bright light on the screen. And that's light, it sees the ridges, your fingerprint ridges. So like the ridges, like the depth, it sees like kind of a canyon. That's what it sees. And then it maps out the ridges. And when it's seeing the ridges, the sensor is looking how the ridges are. And then once the ridges match, then your fingerprint matches the one that's sent in the phone. And then that's how you can unlock your phone because it can visually identify. But on more expensive phones, this is a mid-range Samsung phone. So this would be like the iPhone SE of Samsung. But on like the more expensive iPhones, more expensive Samsungs, or like more expensive phones in general, you have a different type of fingerprint sensor, which actually uses sound. So that one, the screen kind of shoots sound waves. You don't hear them, you will never feel them. You put your fingerprint on, right? You put your fingerprint on the screen, and it sends sound waves, and the sound kind of bounces back from the ridges differently, and the phone sees how the sound is bouncing back, and that's how the fingerprint is like, okay, this matches what's registered, so now it's safe to unlock. So it's really accurate, really fast way to do it. This one's a bit slower because it uses light and has to visually process everything. The sound one is like instant, like 1 millisecond. You literally just tap, unlock, tap, unlocked. Matter of fact, let me show you guys. Here's my Samsung S series. This is a high-end phone. I'm just gonna tap, done. Tap, done. Just like that. On this one, it might take like a bit longer because it's optical, but yeah, you guys get the gist of it. Now, moving on. This thing, the battery. Biggest part. Now, this thing, pretty big battery in this phone. 5,000 milliamps. Really, really big battery. Most phones will have 4,000 to around 5,000 milliamps. But yeah, this is on the higher end for battery. This is like really maxed out. Your iPhone might have like 3,700 to like 4,000, maybe 5,000 if you have the newest iPhone. But yeah, this thing, you send electricity into it. I'm not gonna go into complete detail how a battery works. If you guys want that, there's multiple high quality videos on there, so you guys can check them out. But yeah, battery, you send electricity in there, it sends electricity to your phone, and that's basically what powers your phone. That's what the battery does. And when you are working on any device, if you open any device, the worst thing you can do is puncture this. The moment you puncture it, it is going to catch on fire and it is going to melt and explode. So do not, and I repeat, do not joke around with batteries. These are really dangerous. Alright, back to the fun part. Motherboard. Let me remove that motherboard out and show you guys in detail. Here's the motherboard. I just removed the screw and the motherboard comes right out. Now can you imagine? This tiny thing is an entire computer. This thing right here. This thing runs your entire phone. Everything your phone processes. Your screen, your every little thing, your call, messages, vibrations, camera. Everything runs off this. You know the cameras are on so the motherboard still looks big. Let me take the cameras off and show you genuinely just how small and how insane modern your smartphone is. Like, I don't think most people realize, that's also why I wanted to make this video, most people realize how insane phones are. Look at this tiny thing. That's 2 fingers of mine. Covers the entire thing. Look how thin it is. This thing. Entire phone. This has your processor. This has your RAM. This has your SSD. This has everything built in. Every single thing. All your power rails, everything. So this part right here is the brain, the heart, the liver, the every organ of your phone. Okay? So first of all, what this is going to do, this is going to send instructions to all the other parts of your phone, like how to work. So let's say you're on a call. This is going to tell your speakers exactly what type of sounds they need to produce. Every time you connect to like Instagram, this is going to tell it, the processor is going to be like, okay, what type of the Wi-Fi is coming in. Now what type of data are we bringing in? So let's say you're watching a video, your phone is bringing data over Wi-Fi, and your processor is decrypting it all, and then there's so many other things that are working together to be like, okay, now we have to display it on the screen a certain way. We have to do this. It's genuinely one of the most insane pieces of engineering, of modern engineering. Like, it's crazy. I don't know. Like, it's so crazy. Like, most people, look, you use your phone every day. Instagram, Reels. But keep in mind, this is made of stone, yo. This is like rock. This is made from the earth's sediments. Yeah, enough glazing there. So, underneath this heat shield. So yeah, let me explain what these are. These are heat shields. These silver things, they're heat shields, and the reason they're there is because there's sensitive components underneath and components that get really hot. Like I said, these components, they get really hot. So these heat shields are there to take the heat from those components and spread them out evenly across the motherboard so components don't burn themselves out. Another thing right here. This right here, proximity sensor. Sorry, not proximity sensor. I don't know what the exact sensor is called, but now, have you ever noticed when you step outside in the sunlight and your phone automatically adjusts the brightness if you have that setting enabled? That's what that sensor is doing. It's seeing how much light's coming in. So it tells the phone, yo, it's a really bright environment. We need to pump up the screen, man. Give more juice. So then this will tell the processor that's underneath here, yo, send more voltage from the battery to the screen. And then that's what the phone will do. And then the battery sends more power. Therefore, your battery life goes down. Right, you're going to get less battery. But now your screen is a lot brighter. So it's a trade-off. But yeah, that sensor kind of helps with that. And then you see a lot of the phone right here. A lot of it. This is a speaker cavity. This is where your speaker goes. Your earpiece speaker. That's right here. It's still attached to the frame. I'm not going to be taking that out because it's glued down. Same with this. Your front camera goes right there too. I'll show you all the cameras. But yeah, that's your earpiece speaker. Now on this phone, the vibration motor is right here. On a lot of newer phones, the vibration motor is like either down here or it's part of the bottom speaker. But yeah, on this phone is right here. And basically your motherboard, every time you type or you get a notification, your motherboard sends electricity to that vibration motor right there. And that's basically going to tell the vibration motor, yo, I need to spin or I need to activate. And then it does that. It takes electricity from the battery, and then you feel that vibration because the vibration motor has just activated, and that's why you feel your phone vibrate, and that's how you know you're typing. That's how you know it feels good to type, and that's how you know you got a notification or you're getting a call, right? Pretty sick stuff. And coming back to the cameras, it's the most fun part. I know you guys love to flex your cameras. Hey, my iPhone has a better camera. No, my Samsung has a better camera. Yeah, you guys love to do that. I know you guys, like, you guys can deny it, but come on. There. That thing, massive camera. For a phone, that is a massive camera. Camera. Another camera. Another camera. Another camera. These are all cameras from this phone. And these all these cameras go on this motherboard. This poor soul has to process all the signal from these guys. Now, let me explain how that works. So your cameras, big sensor. There's a sensor back there, and then there's a lens over that sensor. So basically that lens takes in light, and that light is captured, and the sensor inside captures that. And I'm not going to take the camera apart, because once you do that, you kind of basically guarantee to ruin the camera, so I'm not going to open that. But yeah, lens right there, then there's a sensor inside there, pretty big sensor, and that sensor is capturing all the light that the lens is bringing in, and then that sensor turns that signal from the light into electricity, and that electricity signal the electrical signal goes to your motherboard, right? Because let's say your camera's going to be plugged into your motherboard right here, and now the sensor is converting the light signals into electrical signals, and now those electrical signals are going to go to your motherboard, and now your motherboard, the processor, is going to see, hey, I'm getting signals from the sensor, and now your processor is going to decode those signals, and then after that's done, your processor is going to be like, what can I make better about this video? So every time you're filming, your phone is automatically applying effects and edits to the video to make the video look good, to make it stable, to make it whatever. So every time you see, your video looks, oh, my video is not that shaky. Oh, I'm zooming in and my camera's keeping up. That's your processor doing all that work. And when your processor is doing all that work, that boy is sweating, man. So it gets hot. So now if you notice, if you record 4K 60 FPS whatever for a long time on your camera, or you take a really high resolution photos, you keep doing that, your phone is actually going to get warm to the touch because the processor is doing so much work and it's struggling. It's really being pushed to its limits because it's really seeing how much, imagine this, 4K 60 FPS, insane amount of data coming into your processor. Now your processor is taking all that electricity at once, and all that electricity is running through it, and you guys probably know this, electricity is not 100% efficient. Nothing's 100% efficient, right? Otherwise it would be a perpetual motion machine. So that electricity, a lot of it is going to be waste energy, right? It's going to be converted into heat energy. And because there's so much friction going on with the electricity going, the switch is flipping, that's where the friction is made, and that's where all the heat is formed, and that's why components get so hot. So that's why it's really hot when you record, and, sorry, not like that, but it's really, your processor gets really hot when it records, and you're pushing the phone to its limits. Basically, yeah, your cameras are one of the biggest things in your phone, physically as well, that take up so much space in your phone, and they also push the phone to its limits as well. Yeah, that's how your cameras work. Now, there's different type of cameras. Now, you might be asking, Naman. If you guys don't know, that's my real name, NomiUBX, Naman. You might be like, Naman, why do I need all these cameras? Well, first of all, here's your main camera. The reason it's so big is because the sensor is bigger. The bigger the sensor, the more physical light it can capture, the more detail it can capture, so the more better your images is going to look, right? And then here's your other sensor, your other camera. This has a different type of lens. So the sensor is physically smaller because the camera doesn't need to be as high quality as the main camera. But this one, basically what this one is there for, it has a different type of lens. So what that means is the light hits it a different way, so it can actually appear more zoomed out. So when you go from your phone, you're on 1x, and now you click like 0.5x or 0.6x, your phone now starts taking signal from this camera instead. It's like, you know what? It's not relying on this sensor anymore. Basically, it switches from this one to this one. Your processor's like, okay, I need more outward shot. So it's like, I have this camera, and I'm going to switch over to that one, and I'm going to take signals from this instead. That's why you have this camera. So now I've explained why you have two cameras. Two out of the many cameras in your phone, right? And now, here, another camera. This on cheaper phones, you'll find this a lot. This is the macro lens. So when you get really close to stuff, on most flagship cameras, you actually don't have a physical lens. The ultra wide camera does that for you. But yeah, on cheaper phones, you'll get this. It's called a macro lens. And like when you go close up, it can capture like really high quality detail. So yeah, when you go close up, your phone's like, yo, I'm getting really close. My main camera is getting out of blur. And it'll just switch over to the macro lens. Here, right here. Another camera right here. This camera, what this one is I think this one's a zoom. Actually, no. Okay, I'm not sure what this is on this one, but I think this is a depth sensor. So this is like basically your phone sees how far you are from an object, or how like how close or how far you are, and that signal your phone takes, your processor, it heats up even more. Poor guy, right? And basically what that does is it takes that signal and it's like, yo, okay, yo camera, I need you to change your focal length. I need you to change the lens distance so I can see further away or closer. That's what that depth sensor does. Here's your front camera. Front camera, same story as the main camera. I don't really need to explain myself. Just for the front, just so you can take your beautiful selfies and look all good on that beautiful screen. Speaking of screen, let me tie that into it. This is your screen. Self-explanatory. What that does. Takes signal right here. Your screen takes electricity right here from the motherboard. The motherboard sends electricity through that cable. That cable connects to your screen right here. And now basic electricity runs to your screen. And certain parts of your screen light up. And random pixels may be lighting up. The phone thinks random pixels are lighting up. But what you see is a complete image at the end. So yeah, that's what your screen does. Really nice thing to have on your phone. Wouldn't really be a nice phone without a screen, would it? Right. Okay, that was pretty bad. You guys get the point. That about covers everything in the phone. In the modern phone, that's about all the major components you would really have. Yeah, actually, no, there's one component in most phones you'll have. It's the wireless charging. So it'll be a black circle right here. It's a big coil. Basically, what that does is, wireless charging is one of the coolest technologies. It's really simple, but it's really cool. So, dude, I definitely urge you guys to go check out some videos. Basically, you send electricity in coils, and it makes a magnetic field, all right? When you send that into copper, it makes magnetic fields, okay? And now electric fields. And those fields, when placed on another wireless coil, now those fields catch onto the other fields, and now those fields are able to make electron jump through them from field to field, right? So now you literally have electricity jumping wirelessly from one coil to another coil, all because of invisible electric fields, because of the circle. This is really cool technology. I'm really not doing it any justice. Check that out. It's really, really cool stuff. It's really simple. You guys can literally make wireless charging at home. Obviously not for your phone, but yeah, you guys can do that at home even. It's pretty cool and pretty simple stuff. That about covers everything. And this entire video, I have had my friend over here. Let's hear his thoughts, what he thinks. And he actually does not know about phones. And another major reason I wanted to make this video is because he actually requested. So yeah, that's another major reason. Let's hear his thoughts, what he thinks.
Yeah, it's pretty in depth. It's good. It's good. People gotta know more about the phones. We use them every day, and we barely even know how it works. I was also really wanting to understand. Let's say if something happens with the battery, or something happens with one of the things that I can replace, I can just easily replace it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
replaceable, yep.
Or if I wanted to further clean up my my charging port, because sometimes it gets up with dust, right? Mm-hmm. I could just take it off, do whatever, spray it with air, clean it,
100%,
take off the 100%. Dust, and then just put it right back in. So I feel like people use these without understanding what goes into them, and it would be super helpful if you just understood, okay, this is what this does, this is how my phone communicates with this phone. I feel like a lot of people don't know that, and there's not a lot of videos explaining that, so this is perfect. Yeah.
Sweet. Anything else you have? Maybe any questions? Because I know your question may be something.
Show them where. Actually, show the guys where these cameras go. And
let me plug them in. Yeah, they kind of plug in like Lego. You know what they say, like adult Lego? This is literally what a phone is. Phone, computers. Most computers nowadays are adult Legos. Just with a lot more at stake. So main camera plugs in there. Okay, by the way, this is a mid-range phone, a cheaper phone, so the camera is actually smaller. So in my phone, for example, the camera is like twice or even 3 times the size of what it is. Like especially the zoom camera. Like cameras are massive. Like half of the motherboard might actually just be all cameras on mine. Like, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Look, I'll pull out my phone for reference. You see the cameras in there? Do you see? Yeah. Do you see? Yeah. These cameras can get massive. Like the bigger they are, the better image quality. So yeah, that's why your iPhone or like your Galaxy's camera hump is so big to fit those massive cameras in there. Let me get these cameras all plugged in.
So what? Like they just snap on? Oh, they
Yeah.
they have like those things. In
Connectors,
the
yep.
And they just you just connect them like that.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's all the cameras.
That's probably like way more than half of $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
this
for modern day phones, like this is like everything. Like,
this is literally your entire phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except the battery and screen. This is your entire phone right here.
And that's crazy how the cameras are like a third of the size of this.
Exactly, and that's on a cheaper phone. So on like bigger phones, the motherboards are actually smaller than the cameras itself. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Anyways, now I'm gonna put this back together. Now I'm gonna actually put my phone back together, and my friend right here, who's been here with me, who talked to you guys, is gonna guide me. I know how to put it back, but he's gonna guide me based on what he's learned
Okay.
to where each part goes.
Yeah.
And which order it goes. So now let's see if we can get the phone working again.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. So I know for a fact that after the battery. No. Okay. You took this one off first. No, last. So
Mhm.
this one goes on first.
Okay. There we go.
And then you put it just like that.
Slots
okay.
into place. Everything slots into
Okay.
place. And,
And
then let's just
then-
screw that in.
You gotta screw that in. Wait, is that all the screws?
That's one screw for the motherboard.
Oh, it's just one screw for the motherboard.
And then this stuff keeps the
Yeah.
rest of the stuff on.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like, okay, I don't want to put this one in first because I don't want to like
Yeah.
risk
just
anything.
leave everything like
Yeah.
bare bones. Yep.
Yeah, bare bones. Let's get this guy.
Subboard. Yep.
Yeah, the subboard. And
Okay.
Let's
Perfect.
put it in.
Subboard goes in. Guys, if he can do it, and he doesn't know about phones just like you guys, well, he knows about phones, but he doesn't know too much like the inner workings. So if he can do it, then what makes you guys think that you guys can't? Look, I'm not encouraging you guys to go open your phones. Do not blame me if you guys break them either. But my point stands, right? Like, what's stopping you guys from fixing your phones? And then, what do you think?
So how did you put it in? You just
Yeah, I just slid
slide
it in.
in.
Yeah, I just kind of
Okay.
slid it in. Yeah.
All right. Now. Pause. Yo, bleed. Yo, that's bloopers. I think this guy goes.
You
in.
sure?
Yeah, this guy.
You're
This
missing
guy-
something.
Oh, the SD.
No. Look at everything at the table. Yep.
Yes, these little wires.
These antenna cables,
These
yes.
little wires, yeah.
So yeah, these guys are finicky. These are really careful. If you guys are not careful with them, you can actually rip the connector off. That's why I was saying, if any guys watching me that fixes phones, right, do not be mad at me. But yeah,
Okay. I don't know. This sim's kind of pissing me off. Just put it in. Just put the
Okay.
sim.
we'll put it in.
Yeah. Just put the sim.
SIM card slot
Yeah.
goes
And
right
then,
in.
And then put this thing.
You're missing something. Look, something's unplugged. Something's unplugged.
Oh, this. No. hold
No,
on.
that's the battery. That goes in
Yeah,
last.
no, that goes in
Something's
last.
unplugged. When you plug this in, what connectors would it be covering? Sensor still
Oh, your
unplugged.
fingerprint sensor. Yeah. Okay. still
And
unplugged,
most
yeah.
importantly, your main cable,
The flex cable.
flex cable. So one end plugs into the screen input right here, right? And one end goes into the motherboard cable. Sorry, the subboard cable input. Now the subboard is plugged in fully. Now we can close it off.
Okay, now.
Now we can actually put it on. And I'm not going to install the screws just yet, just in case we're missing anything. That's your spot and speaker in, and your subboard fully assembled.
Damn, look at this.
Yep.
It's almost a phone. Now,
Almost full.
Let's put this guy in. This is the Face ID, I believe. This is
NFC.
NFC coil.
Yep, NFC
With
coil and the other
The
cover.
graphite film.
Yep, the cooling. So now we're gonna plug the battery in.
Okay.
Because when we plug that in, that's gonna restrict your access to the battery. First, we're gonna plug this in,
Yeah.
right, to the motherboard. Now your motherboard and subboard are fully connected. Now comes the battery. So we'll plug the battery in right here. Battery's plugged in, and boom, just drop it right there. Now what goes next?
All left is just screws.
Screws. Perfect. Let's screw them in. Next is the subboard. So 2 screws for a subboard, then the subboard cover right here. So let me just get those 2 subboard screws in there. Okay, subboard screws are in. Subboard cover going on, and the speaker. This is the bottom speaker. And you guys might be wondering how does this actually electronically connect to the motherboard? See right here, there's 2 gold contacts right here, and that connects to your motherboard. So it's metal on metal contact, and that's what allows it to carry electricity. Alright guys, I have all the stuff back in. Okay, now last thing to do.
The screen. No. No, back.
The back
Plate.
cover.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Put it
like so.
put it right on, just press it down. Yeah, in most cases once you open your phone, your water resistance is gone, so your phone's no longer waterproof. So I don't recommend you go out, open your phone for no reason. Also, it's just putting your phone at risk for no reason. But yeah, once you got that, I will be gluing this phone back later. But yeah, just for the video, I'm just not going to be gluing it. But yeah, I will be gluing it back up properly, just so it's waterproof again. But yeah, now that's that. And moment of truth. And you know, I don't know how else to prove it, but this is the exact same phone, right? This video has been made on one cut. Obviously, there's going to be some edits, but here, powering on moment of truth. There you go. That's the logo. Spark up to life. And the phone's good as new. Yeah, so the phone's perfectly working. There it is. Miracle, right? No, not really. You guys can do the same. Trust me, you guys can do the same. Look, I'm pressing the home button. I can feel the vibrations. Let me play a YouTube video for you guys. See?
LeBron took the label off his Gatorade
that
while
still
drinking
works.
it. Steph
Camera time. Camera. There, you guys can probably see me now. Can you guys see me? You know what? That's fine. Here, let me take a photo. See? There you go. I'm appearing good in the frame. I'm there. Camera works. Oh, I actually took the back off. Yeah, don't do that. Don't use your phone with the back off. But yeah, I will be gluing the back later, like I said. That's why it's kind of coming off, because the glue is really weak now, because I opened it. But yeah, that's the phone. Sorry. Yeah, that cable. Tuck that cable in properly. Then close the phone. Yeah. There you go. If I can do it, then you can do it. Right to repair. Guys, go rock it. You guys work. You guys, you know, this is your phone. This is your guys' device. You guys should know how it works. You guys should know how to replace parts. This is your right as the owner of the device, so you don't have to pay outrageous fees to these big corporations. That's all I would like to say. Numi UBX out for real this time.